Hey everybody, hello from Chicago. Welcome back for another video. We are at the National and this is my PC pickup video. I went in there with a list of about 10 cards that I was looking for and we'll see what I found, what I bought. And I had my beautiful wife and young son along with me for the trip. So let's go and show you a little bit about the National. We'll give you some footage from here and there, and then I'll focus in on the cards that I was looking for. So we got there about almost 11, 10:45 a.m. or so, and waited in line to get in. And once we got to the floor, it was time to start to try to find some good deals. And there wasn't a lot of good deals here. I looked pretty hard. There's a lot of stuff over comps. In fact, some stuff way over comps. Here's some eye candy for you. The Mike Trout Bowman First Auto, $6,000. There's the Diamond Anniversary card for $4,000 in a 10. That was a $20,000 card just about 3 or 4 years ago. Man, his cards have gone down so much. You got the baseball card exchange with all of their graded stuff. Always love to see the mantles. There's a nice 2 with a big crease in it. Somehow still gets a 2 for $59,000. And we see some Ty Cobbs. That Ty Cobb is on my list. I want a T206 Ty Cobb. That was one of the cards I was looking for. And there's multiple different variations of that T206 that I can choose from. Here's a Mickey Mantle, $28,000 for a PSA 5, a little bit off center. $50,000 for a PSA 5, a little bit better centered. And a $20,000 PSA 4. That was the number one card on my list. Didn't see too many of it today. Here's some more Ty Cobbs, the SGCs, and the PSA. There's a 2 right there. Price tag $5,500 on a 2. Not too bad. Also looking for a Babe Ruth today. Want to get a 1933 Gowdy. And then we'll show you some clips. Pretty crowded. This was Friday. And, you know, you had to kind of push your way through at some stages of the game. Here's a nice Aaron Judge. Look at that. Bowman Chrome First Auto. $7,500, a Jackie Robinson rookie card, another one on my list. PSA 1 for $7,500. I was strongly considering getting that Jackie Robinson. There's the Aaron Judge Dynasty Patch Auto. Paul Skeens, another one on my list, $1,000 raw. I don't know about that. Usually like to buy the grade. I'm a little afraid if I would send that off, I'd get like a PSA 7 or 8 on it. Also, there's a lot of boxes for sale. You can see some of the stuff was $25 over what it should be, like that $150 Heritage box. Other people were selling that for $120. Got to be really careful. I don't really think you should buy modern at the National. You're probably better off just finding it online. And then you got to carry it around all day. Here's some Mickey Mantles. We got the 2 right there, $59,000, a little off center. And seeing all these mantles makes you want to upgrade mine. I have a 1, a really, really nice condition one. PFT Sports stopped here. Shout out to them. They sold me those Clemente jerseys, $60 a piece. And then we've got some sealed product here. How about a 1960 Topps wax box for $360? My dad told me a story once on his way home from school. He found $1 and he went and bought a full box of that for $1. Back in 1960. Now, $360,000. Isn't that crazy how stuff has shot up in price? There's a $15,000 Mickey Mantle and a 1.5 with a big giant tape mark on it. Like, geez. And then the Roberto Clemente rookie cards. Here's a couple 4s for $3,500. I actually went hard after that card in a 4 today. I was trying to get the Clemente in a 4. I have it in a 3.5, and I had a couple different discussions with some folks about it. There's the Ted Williams rookie card in a 2, perfectly centered, $49.50 on that one. So I tried to work out a deal here, and we'll tell you what happened. There's my 3.5. So basically that Ted Williams, I said, what's the best you can do on this? He said $4,700. I was like, all right, I've also got this 3.5 Roberto Clemente. I'd like to upgrade it to a 4. What can we do here? So my offer was, I'll give you $5,000 cash for the Ted Williams, and I'll also give you my Roberto Clemente 3.5 for your Ted Williams and your Clemente 4. So essentially, I was buying the Ted Williams at full price, $4,700, and which is also more over comps because that card comps out at almost $1,000 less than that, but it is perfectly centered, so you got to pay for the centering. And he wanted $6,000. He said, oh, nope, got to be $6,000 cash or I can't do it. And I was like, geez, I'm going to be paying $1,300 to upgrade my Clemente rookie by 0.5. I'm sorry, but I don't think so. And continuing on, we've got some more mantles. Here's the PSA 5. That's a good centered one. They wanted $46,000 for that 5. Pretty crazy. And there you see the Ted Williams rookie card in the 4. $9,600 for the Ted Williams rookie card. That card hasn't been on my radar until recently. I just realized when I did the top cards in my collection that I do not even own a nice Ted Williams card at all. And then you see some more Clementes. I always like to take photos or videos of every card that I'm after at the National, and then I also keep a notes section and write down what aisle it's in. There's a really nice centered PSA 3 mantle for $19,000. Here's a PSA 1 for $52,000. Seems a bit much. Again, I guess it's because it's centered well. If it's centered well, they're gonna really jack the price up. And then we just walked around some more. Here's the corporate. I didn't really film a lot in the corporate section. Lots of booths and memorabilia in there. Here is baseball card exchange. There's Steve Hart doing his thing, authenticating something. And then we've got a bunch of sealed boxes here. Sometimes in the past, I would bring back some sealed boxes and open them up. I learned my lesson, though. I'm not doing that this year. Here's a $10,000 box of 1973 Topps. $15,000 box there as well. Man, 1978 for 40, what was that, 4,600, 1977 down the corner. For 5,500 or so. I've done that in the past, and then it's just really bitten me in the butt, and I've not been able to sell it. There's that Paul Skeens, $1,350 on a PSA 10. Couldn't tell, maybe a little bit of roller lines on the top. Another nice Paul Skeens in a 9 right there. It's the Sapphire First Bowman Chrome. And then we've got some more Paul Skeens eye candy for you. Here's his rookie card from Topps Dynasty, $10,000 on that one. Got the Paul Skeens dual right there for, what's that say, $2,500, I think. Paul Skeens and Jared Jones, Clayton Kershaw, Super Fractor Auto. Then we've got a Showtime, $3,500 for a nice Shohei Ohtani patch auto from Inception, numbered to 25. Here's a nice looking Clemente. How about $100,000 for that one? PSA 8, man. I'd like to get that one, but that's way outside of the budget. Show you some more quick footage, do a little wrap around, and man, the National just literally goes on forever in Chicago. It is just massive, just such a massive place. Here's a 3750 Clemente, PSA 4 right there. You see some of the other stuff they had, and we've got some more mantles. $8,500 for a chewed up 1 and a 1 with a big crease. Comps say that card in a 1 should be about $5,000 or $6,000. So again, way over comps on that one. That was a backup plan. I wanted to come away with a mantle, so that was on my list. Maybe go for a 1 and offer like, I don't know, $6,500, maybe $7,000 just to get one. Here's more of the National from the other side. You can see you can barely even walk. I did find a nice Clemente over there in a 4 that I was interested in. I offered my 3.5 up. They wanted $1,500 in cash on top of the 3.5. Just terrible. Just that much for a half grade. I was thinking maybe $300 for a half grade upgrade. And then we've got some nice Ruths in there. Look at these Jackie Robinsons. Look at all those Jackie Robinsons. That one's on my list, and he has an entire rainbow of them going from PSA 2 all the way up to PSA 5. I took some out to see what we could do on this one. They wanted me to pay the PayPal fees. So we did some negotiations, and we'll let you know if that went down or not at the end of the video. We've got the Walmart booth. How about Walmart getting a booth? I don't think I've seen this before in the corporate section. So Walmart's there. We've got some painters there. There's a Whatnot booth. There's the big Breakers Pavilion. I didn't spend any time in the Breakers Pavilion at all. Too much screaming and hooting and hollering over there. And then I headed upstairs because I heard upstairs was really packed. So I was thinking, wow, there's going to be a lot of tables upstairs. People were like, you can't even move up there. And then I was like, what? What? It's all this empty space. And then everybody is jammed into this little section. Look at all this empty space everywhere. And then just absolutely jammed in together in this area. They could have easily spread this out a little bit. I know they like to have some space upstairs when the lines get really long before the show opens, so they have places for people to stand in line, but my goodness, you could not even get through. This is me just trying to walk through. If people are looking on one side and people are looking on the other side, there's no way you can even get through. It was ridiculous. So I made my way through there and got out of there. It was just, I couldn't even see anything. I would say maybe I tried to just peer over people's shoulders and saw what a table had. Couldn't even really see 90% of the stuff. Then I went back and I made a big purchase. You see him counting out a bunch of cash right there, all in hundreds. I made a deal. I'll tell you about that in a second when I show you everything. We're going to wrap up here. There's blowout cards. That was the last stop. I wanted to pick up one of their Mega Mixer boxers, which shout out to Frank S. Said they were really, really nice. So I went to pick one of those up, but they were all sold out. They said, try back tomorrow. You should have some more. So we headed on home, and now I'm going to go and show you everything that I picked up. It's a lot, about $40,000. So hit that subscribe button, and now let's show you exactly all the cards that I bought today. All right, everybody, back from the National at the hotel, and it's time to show you what I picked up. I spent all day there and about $40,000, and I only came away with 5 cards. All that work for 5 cards. Geez, not even any boxes, not even any sets, just 5 cards, all for my PC. So we'll start off with this one right here. This one is not a new pickup. I'm just using it as a cover to, I guess, hide the cards that I did pick up. This is the Clemente rookie card. I was really actively trying to trade this, but nobody would give me a fair deal on it. They were all, there's a low comp on this card, and they're all going off the lowest of the low comp. They're like, well, that card sells for $2,200. And I was like, no way. There's recently sold ones for over $3,000. I was thinking that I'd be able to upgrade this one for maybe $300, $400 to get to it from a 3.5 to a 4. But man, they were, for $1,500, I can go freaking buy a PSA 2 almost for that. Like, get out of here. So I was really disappointed that I could not make that work. I'm happy enough to hang on to it. And then, I don't know, just I'm found myself not wanting a subgrade anymore, or not a subgrade, but a half grade. And I want to get that 3.5 up to a 4. Maybe eventually, maybe we'll just go buy a 4 and just sell this one, and then sell the 3.5, buy the 4, and probably when it's all said and done, the change in values might be $300 or $400. So I'm just going to use that one as a cover card. Yeah, a couple deals I was working with, they just weren't having it. But here we go. So all 5 of these cards were on my list. I made a list on, what was that, Wednesday before coming out to the National of the top 10 cards I wanted. And how about I checked half of those off? That's crazy. I figured if I get 2 of these, that would be a pretty good National. I got 5. So here we go. We've got a Showtime right there. Shohei Ohtani autograph. This one actually, a lot of you guys came up to me at the National and said hello and were asking what I picked up and just, talking about how you've been watching the videos for years on YouTube. Really cool. So shout out to all of you guys. There was dozens of you, and just thank you so much. So really, really cool. And one of you guys had a Shohei Ohtani autograph and offered it to me for a really, really fair price. This card comps out probably around $2,000 or so. It is the Shohei Ohtani 2023 1989 red. It is numbered to just 25, numbered 22 of 25. And the seller offered it to me for about half price. And the reason why, do you notice what's wrong with this card? The seller said it kind of bothered him. The auto is like, what is with the autograph? It's like over the Angels. See that auto right there? So that's probably going to end up bothering me too, but I just wanted to get any Ohtani in my collection. So thumbs down to Ohtani for not taking the time to freaking sign his cards. It was almost like he was doing it not even looking. Like, that is extremely lazy. So at least I got an Ohtani in the collection. I might want to sell this at some point and upgrade this one to an actual more centered auto. Pretty cool, out of 25, about a $2,000 card right there. Next up, we have a George Herman Ruth, the Babe Ruth card right here. $6,850 on this one. He had a few of these, so I picked the one that kind of had the best eye appeal. It is a PSA 1, but it does have a poor to fair, so I don't know. It's an older label right there, so maybe it would be more along the lines of a 1.5, but definitely not a 2, because although there's no creasing on the card, which is nice, I like the centering. I thought the centering was pretty decent. No major creasing. There is some definite corner wear right there with a little discoloration or dirt down in the corner. But how about an actual Babe Ruth card? I've been chasing a real Babe Ruth card for years, and the back is pretty decent as well. There's no tape or gum stains or ripping of the back. Sometimes you get a PSA 1, the back will be all ripped up from someone taping it up on their wall. Notice they have $5,500 on the back. I wonder if he bought it for that much, or, you know, I bet you he did. So there's this one right here, and I got this one, and I also picked up another one alongside it. I got a Jackie. Yep, Jackie Robinson rookie card in a PSA 4. The centering's a little bit off, so I kind of bit the bullet here. I usually like to go for well-centered cards because I'm kind of a stickler, but I was like, you know what? I could get a well-centered 3 for about the same price as a 4. So I went for the grade this time and went for a 4. So these two together, it was, he cut a little bit off, $21,350 was the price for this. But then, because I wasn't carrying around $21,000 in cash, I had to pay with my credit card with PayPal, and he made me toss in an extra $600 to cover the fees. So altogether here, we were about $22,000 on both of these. So I saved a little bit off of the sticker price, not too much, but I've got a Jackie Robinson rookie card now, 1948 Leaf in a 4. Man, that's crazy. I was looking at a 3 last year for about the same price. And we got the Jackie in a 4. Here's the back of that Jackie Robinson. So Jackie Robinson rookie card and a Babe Ruth. My goodness, my PC has definitely added some value with this show today. So we got those two. Next one up, we got the Ted Williams rookie card, the 1939 play ball. So if you follow the channel, you know I love rookies, and Hall of Fame rookies are like my thing. So Ted Williams rookie card. This one is a PSA 2. It is perfectly centered, so that is why it is, you know, so much. I paid $4,700 for this one. Originally, we were in talks to do this and this plus $6,000 just to upgrade that, but I was like, I'm not going to pay $1,300 to upgrade this Clemente. I could literally go buy a PSA 1 for $1,300 right now at another table if I wanted to. So Ted Williams rookie card in a PSA 2. How about that? Isn't that crazy? And then the very last card I picked up. So right now we're probably sitting around, what are we at? So 21,000, call it 22 plus 47. We're at 26. The last big card, this bad boy right here. I got it. The Mickey Mantle rookie card. And this one would put me a little over budget, so I would go past. Making sure Sophia doesn't hear it. I did go over 40,000 a little bit, but Mickey Mantle rookie card. The centering was what did this for me. So let's take a look. So I'm going to replace this team bag here with another one because that team bag has some marks on it. But the Mantles that I was seeing all had issues with them. They would be a 3 or a 4 or a 2. Like, for example, the one at the baseball card exchange, they wanted $20,000 for a 4, but it had a terrible registry error on it. The Mickey Mantle was basically it was all blurry. Other cards, I saw comps on eBay for PSA 3s going for less, but then they'd have like lines on the card or they weren't centered. So the best comp I could find for a 3 was $17,500 sold on eBay. Very similar to this one without any issues. And so I offered the guy, first I said, what's the best you can do? And he said 18,000. I was like, is that the absolute lowest you can do? He's like, yeah, I can't go any less than 18,000. Look at the back. Just perfect back on this one. So we agreed on 18,000, and then he said, of course, you have to pitch in the fees. And I was like, all right. So it was 3.1%, and it was 558 extra dollars. So altogether in this card, we've got $18,558. But man, look at this. Look at this card. This is the second best card in my collection now. A Mickey Mantle rookie card. So those were my pickups. I got the Mantle that I was after. Got the Babe Ruth, Jackie, Ted Williams. These were all on the list, and they were near the top of my list. So I didn't come away with a couple cards that I was after, like a Ty Cobb. We can save that for another year. The Paul Skeens, Bowman Chrome Auto. I'm going to get one of those this year, just not at this show. Mickey Mantle 57 tops. I'll eventually hunt that one down too, but I wanted to get some of the big cards. And with the National, you can go and see so many copies of all of these cards. Like I probably saw a dozen of that Jackie Robinson, maybe more of the Babe Ruth, probably a dozen of those. Ted Williams, there wasn't as many as him there, maybe just 4 or 5 that I found. Mickey Mantle, there's maybe about a dozen of those, but the prices were all just through the roof on him. So that's what I picked up. That is my $40,000 budget, and definitely spent a little bit more than that. But that's okay. National only comes once a year. I work extremely, extremely hard throughout the year to work hard, save money, and this is my one time each year where I can, spoil myself a little bit and grab something great for the PC. So thank you very, very much for watching. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Saturday afternoon. Check us out on Whatnot. We'll be live tomorrow, Sunday, as always, around 5 p.m. Eastern time or so. We've got a bunch of breaks of Chrome and everything else. Hope you can come on by and check it out. We've got Pick Your Teams now. Those are underneath the breaks tab billing right now. So if you want to grab your team, you can go on under Pick Your Team and pick it up. So thank you very much for watching. Have a great rest of your evening. Check the description of this video for tomorrow's Whatnot show link if you'd like to get into those breaks and watch that show tomorrow. And I will see all of you live tomorrow. Good night, everybody.